much analysis for that. That's just the net worth lead showing itself. The supports have like basically nothing on Dire. Meanwhile, Winching, he just gets in there and drops a two.
Might not see him! No. Boom! The space cow lands on top of it.
He didn't anticipate. He couldn't smell it coming.
Shield rune?
No way.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gooby's just getting unpunished, playing in their jungle, and he's queued up a Dagon of all things. This is going to be great to see. It's going to be clowny as shit.
Hey, I'll say this. Reverie's been dunked once.
Tombstone doesn't care if he dies. He has a ceaseless dirge. Oh, random Ursa kill. Gachi's down.
What happened there? Was he just lurking on low HP? Did Prey take him? Was it Prey?
Yeah, he got slain by the tiny toss.
Axe snatched it up, and it looks like the Axe secures the Wisdom Rune. I think they're having some fun. I think they're feeling themselves in this game. So good to see that even in a comp setting, these boys can still. Your tinkers. Alright, tell me.
So a lot of these high, what they call high IQ players are actually pretending. If they can't play 100 to 0 combo, they suck ass.
There can be a huge amount of burst coming out from either of these heroes at any moment, so keen to watch this in action.
Another reason you won't see a lot of action in the bottom lane is the that's 6 HP regen and 3 mana regen permanently now on the Rubish. Oh, that's good.
That is something that you want to see on a
God, did you just see the level 2 little shredder?
Oh, I did not, but looks like Reverie needs to run out of there as fast as he can. I saw little IO positioning himself. What I did see though was Tiny
from having 275 health. If he was on full, he would have like 11 damage from health, and that's why you're seeing a lot of like the wands and a lot of heavy branch start, just like the Vengeful Spirit. Punch Dog George to get in. When he has his phase blink is when you'll see a lot more movements actually happen.
And he's coming up on his 6.
Was trying to do there.
In comes the charge from behind the tower, but she gets a perfect little stun on top of him. Green. Wendy tried to help there, but
they're putting a lot of stock into this Invoker, and as it was their last pick of the draft, so it just shows like how much they value Huncho having a
great game so far.
Okay, so
wait, hold up! Did they just catch the? They just caught the Necro.
Necro's dead. He bought travels. I hate it when ball players do this. He gets only you until you lose the game with the 100. It's hilarious. Shadow Fiend ban from
Shadow Fiend ban. I was just about to say we've seen this try and get some damage onto you as well. Missed the axe call because of the swap. Beautiful play there from Johnny, and down goes the cow. Okay, they're in action. If they eliminate this cow, they might actually be able to play this fight. Vengeful is running, but the Shadow Demon goes down to the Dagon, and the dunk gives that to Zeus. Yep.
So I think the most important thing to check is to swap to net worths here and look at the net worth here.
Oh, hang on, Gavala
Zeus is winning.
Has been found by the Morphling, but he is pretty thick. Looks like he's just... Does Johnny try and take that tombstone, get a bit of gold for himself? Looks like he is.
He should get it, yeah. They will not be defending. And the Huncho rotation scouted out again. Oh, that worked.
Oh. Wait. All over this map, Morphling goes down to the axe.
What the? All of
wow.
And they're going on to the Tiny.
Tiny?
Bottom, they're just
out of his disease. That toss damage is bonkers. Wow.
Yeah, that was half Invoker's health. That was 3 creeps kills. That's insane. Absolutely insane.
Looks like Tiny's now heading top to grab himself that boundary zone. So looks like they're thinking
about it. Set up.
Oh, big toss combo, toss avalanche. He does get the micro stun off, and he's real quick, and he's probably going to disappear into those trees. Now the team put out of position. Cho's going in. But he's caught immediately underneath that axe from the Zeus, but they do get the toss onto the Zeus, but not the toss back. Okay, so he's just going to slip away.
He took so much damage.
Oh, did I just see a Moon Cow charge again? I did see Gabala on the edge there trying to deal with the Vengeful Spirit.
Reverie escapes in the back
Oh,
line.
looks like Raccoon is going to charge in, and all of a sudden that Vengeful Spirit might be in a little bit of trouble and is dead. Run, Johnny. There's still a full team.
Don't think we're going to see a Spirit Breaker game 2. I don't think we're going to see an IO game 2. They're going to maybe try and limit them with their mobility around the map. So I reckon these, like, guarantee you, is watching just about every game of Riyadh in some way, shape, or form. And we're all definitely taking, like, our lessons from that. What we can use, what we can't use, what we... cheese strats we can learn, stuff like that. You know?
Rambe on this Spirit Breaker. Just unbelievable performance. It just felt like it was everywhere. 63 Culling Blade stacks. Or Code of Blood,
It's
I think
a lot,
it's called
yeah.
now.
A bit more patient with these disruptions. He's just
I
getting
think so.
slightly the wrong hero.
I think also, as
a
a Shadow Demon player, I can tell you that all too often you want to use that disruption offense. So as someone who loves the save support, right? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm known for my Earth Spirit, but I love IO. I just love that hero so much. I also love Oracle. I've played in, but 27 is still really fast for this this division, especially when you think you can find a way in. But I just don't think that Necro was ever going to be
kills at least, right?
And we did see the Shadow Demon having the impact that we expected it to have. Where it was like saving this Morphling, we did have the swaps from Johnny to keep. Man's just trying to sink some beers and have a good night, and you're coming in here and just harshing his vibe in the biggest way possible. Report Gabala, ruining my vibes, dude. Oh, it's a crab in mid lane. But this is it. This is this annoying bloody cow that just... It gets to this point in the game and it's in all three lanes, keeping something that I can't see. But they seem confident with the way that they locked their heroes. They took the Tiny and they immediately snapped up Snap and IO. So this is an opener for them. They
as well as with the facets, we have like the most notable ones. We actually have an attack IO with the Kritzkrieg. We also have the Ricochet 2 on the Snap.
Especially after that first game where they just get stomped out of existence. To see them just come back with such ferocity and annihilate, like, just annihilate this Dire team. Like, what could the... Get that charge, but Huncho caught out of position and he's scouted immediately by the bolt. Tiny goes in with the toss, but that's not going to be enough damage to deal with Wen Jing, and now the Tiny is dead as well. Oh my lord. Immediately follow with the Snapfire because they know what they want to do, and then within 0.5 seconds the Mars comes out. So is that just research? Is that knowledge? These teams know each other?
Yeah, so this is a bit of the teams knowing each other. Like, crappy lane with the rotations, like being 2-0-1. He's not like tanking deaths randomly. It's pretty happy. It's all going to be up to Ken Gachi. Like, honestly, can he get his shard and can he get in and not die?
Okay.
You never know who's pretending and who's actually good. And Pancho George is the kind of player who will dump an OD on you no matter the matchup. So I guess we'll just have to see like how it goes down altogether. And to circle back to Rubik, I don't know why they decided to make him gain AoE with spell.
Win decides to just let that IO burn. Okay.
It's a throwaway. It's a throwaway IO.
Yep.
If he ever gets caught, you don't really care too much. It's
Well, Gachi's going to try and man fight the Reverie here. Reverie switching to Strength to try and get away. And it looks like he may just do it. Shadow Demon pops the ult on top of Gachi. They're thinking about it, but the rest of
10 regen, 10 HP regen, and 5 mana. I mean, like, he's just not respecting the toss damage. He's
Done
expecting
onto
the
IO. Spirit Breaker decides he wants to take this kill on his own. Down goes Wing Ching.
Unfortunate. I also got a comment on OD ban again for AU rejects. They definitely don't want Hunter George on his final pick, Outlaw Devourer.
What is it with all these, like, sweaty...
Doesn't happen today. Troll not getting the Snapfire either, because he just gets men sent to his lane to help him. That Snapfire has a Maelstrom now. He's being charged, but I don't think anything will come of this. Like, in the numbers, but the amount of saves that the Undying was able to do, and the amount of, like, even if it's just like a Tombstone save, or just the Greaves keeping someone alive, that prevents, like, 10 to 15.
Though this Ursa might be a little bit out of position. He's going to try and take what he can, because he did get that Wisdom Rune, but I think they'll take his life in return. Swap back, get stunned. Shadow Demon, you need to be careful. That is a big scary bear. Charge from Raccoon to secure the fruit, but RFA is just going to throw out the disruption, but now he doesn't really have any save for himself if they do decide to go, but they're just putting so much damage onto Raccoon.
And Radiant haven't drafted enough stuns here. It's really starting to show. Like, they do have, like, they have a lot of short stuns, but they don't have any good, reliable, long-range lockdown. Nothing like a Bane, for example. And it's really starting to show. He's just not going to get. If you put the Shadow Demon ulti on the Ursa, you can even get the Ags for a break. The Ursa, the only way he can actually, like, get the short end of the Demonic Purge. Okay. Oh no, sorry, Gachi's on the... Wait, what? Gachi's on the Necro? What position are they playing?
Raccoon picks up the Windy. Okay, look at this messy IO. Now Tiny, Gubala, Gachi. You guys need to be a little bit careful because there is an entire dire team right on top of you. But he does once again get the scythe off onto the Troll. Troll at this stage of the game, Gubala is trying to get away from Reverie. Reverie putting the damage down, but not quite enough. Axe is able to walk away here, and it looks like it turns into a tier 3 bit of nothing. The Tiny toss back. Here, Team AU Rejects looking for the finish.
They're not confident to go for the throne, it seems. Almost a butterfly on the Venge, but I don't even think it's going to...
One of the biggest ball plays I've seen, but it might just save... No, it does not save the snap, but then the Avalanche comes out on top of that Invoker, and Invoker is absolutely annihilated. Power shot out to stop the Blinks. They've got a few seconds. Avalanche... No, he's going to pull it out.
He's in the area.
Okay,
he gets out.
Smart man.
If they knew exactly where he was, they would Zeus ulting him. He's just dead. Sorry, yeah. So, with the meant to be, we have another charge onto Johnny. Let's see how much damage this one does. Johnny. I wish there was a charge counter because that bull has been bullying you all night. The Zeus is coming to try. Wow-wee. Beautiful rotation from Prey, by the way, there as well. And he might just secure this rune right in front of the Tiny's face. Oh, yeah,
it hurts
so this is what I meant about when I said the Spirit Breaker was... it's going to be very, very interesting to see what AU Rejects pick here, because they have to lock in a good Morphling counter and something that doesn't get ruined by Shadow Demon. So, what offlaner
they're absolutely whiffing it because of the pressure. But then when it's time to shine, some of them are making some of the 6 plays I've seen in a while too. It's such a good game with Dota. I love Dota.
With the global cow is insane. And now he's starting to charge through waves. He has the 25% greater bash damage on level 25. He has all his items. This guy...
Facets being introduced to the game is a huge change. Facet interaction with Rubik. Do you think it needs any changes? Oh, Io. Nice.
It is confusing as shit, man, if I have to be completely honest. Having to track...
Not just his damage, so allies as well.
I see.
So I mean that Shadow, that Spirit Breaker dies a lot earlier if he does have Promial Gate there. But again, he's...
That's it. My god, that does so much damage as well.
So was he just...
He only did 700... He was half health, I think. And he got cleaned.
Nice. God, Tiny does so much damage. Which there's a charge onto Johnny, and Johnny is not going to see that cow coming through the trees. He's punching him. He does have the ult, so he sends him back to his team. And is his team going to get there in time? Yeah, of course they are. It's Zeus. Zeus doesn't even need to be.
I think maybe with no items, he'd be the highest HP hero. But we're starting to get into the point where the universal heroes that stack up the double circlet at the start of the game.
They've got an execution in mind. There's the Mars band. There's the Rubik band. You called that. And they
I didn't
take
call
the
the Mars
Spirit
band,
Breaker.
but they steal the Spirit Breaker, so that's gonna flip it.
These guys maybe in the finals, and you are unlucky enough to not make it to the finals, which I think is very unlikely. I've seen your Gyro. Your Gyro is going to rip all the way to the finals. But if you're not, and these guys make it, maybe I'll hit you up again to kills on him. Well, let's have a look. Only 3 showing for his kills.
31.
Holy!
That's a lot,
46 assists on this. Look at that Snapfire. The IO's here. Decides against it. I think he makes the right play there.
Gonna be no Wisdom Rune steals today. Or this could...
do you want to talk to just talk to Sadist for me for a second? Why we've seen a resurgence in Necro?
Sadist. Ah, right. Okay. So the Profane Potent...
And hope that my plus 1 carries me late game. So
Hunter George does seem to open with... I'm not actually sure why he took the Sandstorm Invisibility facet and not the one forward. Getting at bottom's fine too, but it doesn't have like the same momentum that they want.
That was 900 gold to that Tiny as well. That's a lot of gold going the way of a hungry little support. Although...
Alright, so on Slaughter Gang, we got Huncho George. He's well renowned with a lot of his mid laners. I have a feeling his Snapfire might see some action tonight, maybe some bans. RF easily 1,000 during fights. And this can be further enhanced with like Bloodstone if you ever get down that far. You ever get like the absurdly tanky parts. But yeah, the hero...
Spirit Breaker draws a line towards the Tiny and the IO. Smoked. Thinking about trying for the high ground now that they've got the Aegis.
No
Tombstone for some vision. They do have the Refresher Shard. BKB popped early on Gachi here, and he's just punching their towers. Just the double D. Oh, Gachi's hungry, jumping in cover. Johnny's Spirit. Johnny, you need to get out of there. And Huncho's bought...
If you're a Blink hero, you're really punished in this patch. But we have our own kind of meta down in Oz, where you will see like these random bans that you wouldn't see in Riyadh, such as the Undying, such as the Axe, even the Lit.
The Morphling alive. But what's the point of saving your Morphling if it doesn't have any farm? Like if it's not getting back into these games? Huge performance from Prey. Rated. Snapper likes to fire her ult here, but she's next to a troll that has his own ult. Toss forward onto the other heroes to get a little bit of a stun. The good comes out to root him in place, and now Tiny's caught out of position by Andros, and he is gone as well. You're expecting to see that same competition, that same fire tonight as well, huh?
I think so, yeah. These two teams on paper should be relatively close. They
I'd
chase
line,
too
and I think
far.
Johnny's in a whole lot of trouble as that Axe is trying to blink and dunk, gets the battle hunger off, and there's the dunk.
Oh. RFA need to pick a flexible carry that doesn't have many matchup like losses. So in that position, you could pick like an Ursa, you could pick a Juggernaut, you could pick
What's
a
wrong with me? Why
and
can't
then
I
get double if he's got his Yashikaya. 2 parts of it Aghanims. He's just keen.
Looks like they don't really call this bluff, right? Like, the Sand King ult is up there. He's got an Eternals round. He can live against that Zeus. But they've just been...
Yeah. I'm not gonna say like...
Zeus like trying to get vision for the Axe. Morphling's career almost gets scouted by Gabala then. The bear is still...
as if he's got the enrage buffer up when he gets hit, and it's only 2.5 seconds, but that's 2.5 seconds you're not moving, you're not able to use your attack speed buff. You can't... It's...
But it looks like the shield respawn's top.
He's not scared at all, though. You see that? Like, there's like 2 heroes posturing on him, and he just doesn't care. He has 1700 health. Troll getting a full ulti off because Scythe was on cooldown for 10 seconds. They just didn't have the... They didn't have the way to 100-0 him.
Bumps into a wall 4 or 5 times. Like, this is great to see. I love seeing Mars in my games, and to see someone play it incredibly well like Johnny did, super hype. Super hype, mate. That's super cool. Snapfire's here. Does the Snapfire have ult? He does. Ooh, big whirlwind, but that EMP is going to do a whole lot to these Universal heroes. They're just completely out of mana. Dive from the Spirit Breaker. Can they kill that Snapfire the moment you get back?
Oh my god. That's level 18 on Axe now. That's a 475 damage call.
And 21 coats of blood. They're looking for Morphling.
He would have had a much closer mid-game, but just having a Necro that's top net worth the entire game and still being down 2k just based off lanes is really rough.
There throws 2 heroes of Team Radiant into this Mars arena with the big blood sport. There's no saving them. They're stuck in there. They're freaking out because everyone freaks out when they're in a Mars ult. You're having a hard game. You still feel like you're in it, especially as a support player. I often get relegated to 5, and when I see a Barra picked, my heart flutters. It's like being a Storm Spirit and seeing a Maiden or an Ezreal on your team. It's like that's very exciting for me. I'm pretty stoked to see you in a
they're still discussing on Radiant. I think they're still discussing what they're going to do here. Only winching is like obviously winching Aya was guaranteed.
And the bottom of the ditch is because of his Aghanim Scepter, right? Like that's what makes this hero so strong. And I see he's got the halberd queued up. I get it. You're against an Ursa, but like and hyper cannon, and
oh my god,
God, I love that name so much, dude. Give me more Tasmanian hyper cannons and less then as well towards Dire. That's a lot of XP. That is a whole lot of XP.
Yeah. As well as young Howard was playing, he is only.
And when you see this hero played well, is there anyone on AU Rejects that plays Brood well? Are they banning it just because it's meta, or are they?
Gooby and Gachi, 100%.
Okay,
Those two players, even
he coming back to lane, just doing tiny things. I'm gonna come back, hit a few creep, and the moment he arrives, he is EMP'd and completely ran out of mana, which must be the most frustrating thing in the world. Huncho's up here having a looking. This might be the first time we actually catch it live leak, live on camera. This Axe bullying. Oh, maybe not bullying the Morphling as the Tiny arrives to try and save him here. It looks like Tiny's decided to throw himself away. Tiny pushed off the haste and the deny comes out from RFA. Alright, RFA. Yeah, take the high 5. Sorry, you were saying?
Rip Harold's.
To get out of there. Oh, both of these teams are making mistakes, but both of these teams are making sick plays. This is good Dota. This is the kind of Dota that you can feel the pressure on these teams, right? Ooh, that Mars might be in trouble if he stays just a little bit longer. Scattershot comes out from the Rubik to get the slow off, and they have to choose a target now. If you chase 2 rabbits, you won't catch either. That Rubik is leaving. And the troll might have to pop ult here if he wants to have any chance of surviving it. Though I don't think he can survive. I think he decides to try and take someone out with him, and it's going to be Gabala. Huge!
Oh, the mech!
Oh, the mech! Big save! Stops that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Bubs cast. There's been a whole lot of them lately, and tonight I just couldn't miss this game. How is it just gonna...
Spend so long between lanes, he doesn't actually he can just charge through a wave and it's pushed, and then from there he can place a deep ward that you're not expecting because he's so stupidly...
Avenge to the
Ben
back.
died bottom. Oh,
Yep,
this is
yep.
not the worst movement around the map. I mean, we're just waiting for to what lane they'll be going.
Oh, we have an Invoker. How bloody exciting. God, I love Invoker. I don't play the hero, but I love seeing it played well. And here we have it live.
Yeah.
Okay, so
we
are seeing it better again. We're seeing Invoker really take a bit of a lead here in the mid lane. I think I expected that, right?
100%, yeah. So the
is in, Johnny is out, Gachi knows he has to deal with that Shadow Demon and is diving him as hard and fast as he can. Disruption to try and save himself for a second. That BKB is running out, Gachi, and you are deep once again. Tiny.
get a bit sleepy because they kind of imploded off the lanes, but game 2, oh my.
Spicy, absolutely spicy. Well, I'll tell you what, if I do end up casting...
Think twice about picking this IO. I would expect they're going to think twice about picking the Necro. The IO will likely get banned by Dire next game. He did so much...
Reverie spots his BKB and he wants in, but all of a sudden the Mooncow is on his back line and keeping his supports a whole lot busier. Oh my god, that axe call is so phenomenal! He catches 3! 1, 2, 3!
Having me on, I appreciate it. It's an amazing series to watch. I was going to watch it anyway, and I'm glad we could have a really fun time while watching it, because my god, they put on a show game 2. Game 1 was a bit of a Bang's favor, because I will say, Radiant's buying a couple silly items, if you ask me. The Dagon, been practical. This axe needs a BKB Shiva's refresher. He needs these types of items to how long until it starts. Yeah,
5 minutes,
I don't
we
think
got 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know. These guys aren't gonna... Oh, I just loaded into the draft. The draft has already begun.
Did they?
So it seems AU rejects have first actual defensive item now, so it's going to get a lot harder to kill him after that, you know?
Now, what I will say...
the travels efficiently.
Is Dire had some really, really good vision in this early game. I'm not sure if you saw it, but it was scouting into a Necro. A Necro IO was able to somehow get what he wanted out of the lane. He really wasn't that far behind. I had a look at the net worth, and he wasn't that far behind. And then on top of that as well, he was able to then just cut better and better and better. We've got Team Dog Cage, Australian Painters, AU Rejects. These are some awesome teams this season.
Yeah.
Now, obviously this seems like a respect ban, and we're seeing things like the Broodmother being banned because they're actually just super strong in the meta right now. Do you think Axe is for 4 times now? For 3 or 4 times? He's not.
I think that's the one.
Yeah, he's not as far behind as he should be. You know, he's still 1,000 who cop 4 or 5 bans, even in the professional scene.
Okay. Hoodwink ban into first pick Tiny, I think that's kind of expected. Tiny's just, hopefully they don't have a triple lane stomp into a 20-minute match. I'm expecting some good, healthy Dota here, some good team fights. I don't know, maybe just Brawlhalla. Something everyone can enjoy.
So much. Gives you the initiation, gives you vision, gives you tower push. Gubala needs to be careful though, because there are lots and lots of these mana stacks building up on top of Gubala, and he's getting up from the Aegis, but that is another stack for Gachi, and Gachi's doing his best to slip off into the trees. Can they find him? Yep, of course they can. There's the charge. There's the reverse big old massive Reaper Scythe on top of him, and that is more stacks for the stack. Troll is a pretty spooky hero this patch. It sort of feels like when it works, but when it doesn't, it doesn't. I know you can say that about every hero, but when it's a good troll game, this hero just feels unstoppable. And I know the Oz he's still winning his lane, so who am I to judge? Shadow Demon, best hero. Absolutely best
That's
hero.
his innate ability, right? That gives you the 2% stacking.
Correct. Yep.
Okay, yeah, got it.
It's just so much heal, especially with the new facets. Oh my god, they decided to charge in onto Gabala. Gabala might be out of position here. Gets off the scatter shot, but oh, down she goes. By the way.
Oh, I've been disconnected.
Oh, looks like They're doing what they can to get on top of Johnny once again. Johnny running as fast as he can, and they do manage to get him. Huncho pops the ult and jumps in, but that damage just doesn't seem to matter.
Okay, Huncho has actually opted not to go for the blink. They've detected that they have absolutely zero momentum going into the mid game now, after they get 5-man wiped across the entire map. 3 lanes of... Oh my god.
Where did all that
so much
damage come from? What? Where's my recap?
Yashakaya and...
But you need to pick an MVP for me.
Ooh, okay, it's tough. There's a lot of good competitors, but I gotta give it to Gubala. So, if you look at, like, the landing stage, yes, he's top 3. This is a Midas Spirit Breaker as well. We haven't commented on it yet, but because of the Spirit Breaker facet, you can just see how much they're winning out on EXP on Dio. Even with all...
Axe does have a blink dagger, and the charge is going to connect. Does Axe elect to blink?
He's clipped the Morphling! He's dead!
He dunks the Morphling again! This Morphling! But they didn't deal with the bear. And there's that beautiful save from RFA, but it might not be enough to save the Venji. She's slipping out in the back. She's got to deal with the zombies. She doesn't deal with the zombies, and now she's dead. Potential as a position 4. We saw Seb playing a couple of seasons ago quite a bit, and a few other heroes were picking her up as well. But now she's universal, and we're not seeing her being played as much as a support.
Execute.